Hi, it's Lee from the Japanese Water Gardens. Wanted to make you a quick video today to show you what we do with our fish when winter arrives. A few weeks ago we had what was really the first cold spell of the winter. A couple of days where it was snowing, it was getting down to below freezing at night, and we decided that it was time to move the fish out of our display ponds and return them to the quarantine or to the main pond. Now the quarantine room is indoors, it's nice and warm in there. Normally it's not necessary to heat it. Fish are very happy in there over winter. Only got a few of them left. Of course, this is just the remaining stock from the season, the fish that haven't sold during the season. So they've been transferred and put safely into the quarantine. But the fish in the main pond is outdoors. It's 8,000 gallons, and during the winter we generally heat it. Now, one of the most important things when you're heating a pond, in my opinion, is to insulate it. And we came up with a good idea, a very inexpensive idea to insulate it. What we do is to simply float 8-foot by 4-foot sheets of polystyrene on the water surface. Now, a few people, when I've mentioned this to them, they've asked questions about it. One of the first things that they say is, well, how do the fish get the oxygen? Doesn't it cut off the oxygen supply for the fish? Doesn't seem to. And we of course always leave an area of the pond uncovered. At the end here we've left about a fifth of the surface completely uncovered, and we leave it like this all the time. My theory is that what we've done is put a cap on 4/5 of it and really trapped all the heat inside there. This is better than using sheets of polycarbonate that would be resting on a frame, because the polycarbonate, first of all, it's not as good an insulator, nowhere near as good an insulator as a 4-inch thick sheet of polystyrene, and secondly, it isn't actually in contact with the water. So when you do the polycarbonate and it's standing on a frame, you've got a big gap right over the top, and that is nowhere near as good as putting this sheet flat right on the water surface. Now, I don't come from any scientific background or anything like that, but I would be most surprised if any heat of any measurable degree is escaping through these sheets of polystyrene. In fact, one year when we did this, it was so cold that we had a layer of ice forming on top of the sheet of polystyrene, and the water temperature underneath was 12 degrees. So that said to me that those sheets were working very, very efficiently as insulators. 12 degrees water, 12 degrees centigrade we're on about, I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but 12 degrees Celsius in the pond and below freezing on top of the sheets of polystyrene. So these must be working really efficiently. Another thing what people have asked is, doesn't it make it really dark for the fish? It doesn't seem to. We've actually got a canopy, a solid wooden canopy over the top of this pond as well, but there's plenty of light in there for the fish, and they seem really happy and content. And the fish here are going to stay in here probably until Easter time, when we open up again for the new season. But by doing this, we're preserving the heat energy that we're putting into the pond, and we're dramatically cutting the heating bill that we would incur. Seems to be a very, very inexpensive way of providing a high degree of insulation. These sheets actually cost, I think it was about £12 per sheet. So the sheets that we used were just the standard 8 foot by 4 foot sheets. You buy them from the builders merchant, super cheap. Now, we've never tried the foil back ones, you know, the Kingspan type. I'm just a bit concerned maybe that there could be something in that type of insulation, maybe some fire retardants or something like that. So we've just stuck to the basic straightforward polystyrene ones. What does occasionally happen is you get a few pieces of the polystyrene just breaking off. So what we tried was covering it with foil tape, and that does work. If it's a problem, just go around the edges with this sort of 6-inch wide foil, aluminium foil tape, and that really reinforces them. If I was going to raise the temperature a lot higher than what we've got them at, then I might be a little bit reluctant to use this method. If, say for instance, you was raising the temperature to 20 degrees, 22 degrees, then perhaps the oxygen might be an issue, because as the water temperature goes up, the fish's requirement for oxygen would also increase, and of course the level of oxygen that you could get dissolved into the water, because the water temperature was higher, would naturally be lower as well. So I'd be a little bit careful about doing this if your intention is to raise the temperature up into the sort of 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 degrees sort of level. But the temperature that we do it at, 10 or 12 degrees, it's been absolutely fine. We've had no problems doing it whatsoever. Well, thank you for watching the video. I hope that you found it interesting. Subscribe to the channel. More videos coming soon. Bye for now from Lee at the Japanese Water Gardens.